RJ, we've always been taught, right, to what the doctor says is gospel, if you will. Like they have the white coat. That's why we have white coat syndrome. You were put in a position where the doctors were coming to you and saying, this is what it's going to be. You can't recover. You'll never do this. You're going to, all these bad things, right? How did you remain calm within yourself and, basically know that that wasn't right?
Yeah. Okay. That's a great question, Justin. Okay. We must know the truth. And the truth is that we are a limitless creator, not a consumer. I was not and am not interested in consuming other people's opinions. It has nothing to do with me. And I used to say that to them. Now, these are all very well educated, compassionate. These people wanted the best for me. I mean, it wasn't like they were giving me this diagnosis just because they were Dr. Evil or whatever, right? But I also knew that their opinion has nothing to do with me. None. And I used to say that because they would say, hey, listen, RJ, I've been doing this surgery, for 25 years and no one gets better. And I used to say, what does that got to do with me? And there'd be this long pause because the answer was, well, nothing. Actually, I go, exactly. So when we know the truth is that we are a limitless creator. I don't give a what about other people's opinions. I never took it on board. Now, it was easier for me to not take it on board, Justin, because I was completely detached. So I wasn't identifying, number one, with the body-mind complex, and therefore I wasn't identifying with what the body-mind complex can perceive via my five senses, whether I heard it, saw it, or whatever. So I was in a complete state of detachment. So it didn't matter what these people were saying to me. And they all said the same thing, by the way. Can never walk again. You're always going to have to take these medications. You're a paraplegic. Go get your house retrofitted, and you're going to have to take these medications forever. Get used to it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I was detached, and I'm not a consumer. I don't care what other people have to say. I'm here to create the reality that I most desire. And the reality that I knew I was going to create was to put a destroyed body back together because I knew I could do it. And I was absolutely going to do it. And I wasn't going to let anyone else's opinion affect me because that has nothing to do with me. And I was tangibly aware of that. And that allowed me to proceed without interruption, without doubt, and without limitation.
Excellent. I think if people could embody that energy, if they're suffering with something, I mean, you'll be unstoppable. Within the book, RJ, I want to bring out a quote from the book. Today, I conquered permanent paralysis, but far more importantly, I'm free. I'm free from the limitations that I'd previously created and accepted. So how many unconscious limitations have we accepted? And that's the reason that we're held back from whether it's healing or whatever it is that we want to achieve in our life.
I would say our life is the summation of the limitations that we have allowed to infiltrate our subtle body of energy through programming. I would say our entire life is actually the tangible experience of the limitations that we have agreed to. It's in everything. It's in every facet of our life. It's actually how we've created the life based upon what we think and believe is possible for us. We operate in a box when in reality there is no box. And so if we looked at our life, we would realize that the whole thing is put together through subconscious limiting programs, all of it. And by awakening from the emergency surgery, I had awakened into cosmic consciousness. I wasn't in a box. In fact, I realized there was never a box. It didn't even exist. So I was free to do and create as I deemed fit. It made no difference to me that my body was destroyed. I was perfectly at peace, joyous, and happy, while still temporarily housed within a body-mind complex that didn't even work anymore. I couldn't even feel it. And I was perfectly happy in that state that in terms of not being able to use my body. I had just simply harnessed my desire and intention to create a reality that I knew that I could. So therefore, being detached, I was able to do that, but I was free, as I said in that quote. I was free and joyous in that moment, even with a completely and utterly destroyed body and in agonizing pain.